Hey there, glad you're here. So today we're talking about something that's got a lot of people curious, maybe even hopeful, especially if you're on Social Security or close to retirement. President Trump's big, beautiful bill is making headlines, and one of the biggest promises attached to it is what he's calling a senior bonus. Now, that phrase has been tossed around a lot lately. No tax on Social Security, extra money in your pocket, that kind of thing. But here's the real question. What does that actually mean for you? And is it as good as it sounds? Now, here's something most folks don't know. The bill doesn't actually eliminate taxes on Social Security like Trump said during his campaign. Not completely, anyway. What it does include is a brand new deduction, up to $6,000 per person. And that's what they're calling the bonus. But, and this is important, not every senior will get it. And some might not see any change at all. So yeah, we got to break this down clearly, because while it sounds great on paper, the truth is a bit more complicated. And before we really get into it, let me know in the comments, do you think seniors should pay any taxes at all on their Social Security benefits? I want to hear your take. And if this kind of content helps you, don't forget to hit subscribe. It really helps us keep this conversation going. All right, let's start with what's actually in the bill. The official name is the One Big Beautiful Bill. And in typical Trump fashion, it's meant to be big, bold, and full of promises. One of the key parts of this bill is that temporary tax deduction for seniors. If you're 65 or older and meet the income requirements, you could qualify for a $6,000 deduction if you're single or $12,000 if you're married and filing jointly. That's the Senate version. The House version is a bit smaller, $4,000 per person. So then what's the catch? Well, for starters, you have to be at least 65. That means if you're receiving Social Security early, say at 62, or you're getting disability benefits, you don't qualify for this deduction at all. And even if you're over 65, there are income limits. If you make more than $75,000 as a single filer or $150,000 as a couple, the deduction starts to shrink. By the time you hit $175,000 or $250,000, it disappears entirely. And here's the part that surprises a lot of people. Most seniors actually won't benefit from this deduction. And why is that? Because nearly half of seniors don't pay any federal income tax in the first place. Their incomes are too low. If your total income is around $30,000, which is right around the national median for seniors, you're probably already covered by the standard deduction and the existing age-related bump. Adding this extra deduction doesn't really move the needle if you already owe zero. So, in practice, this so-called senior bonus is mostly going to help middle-income and upper-middle-income seniors, folks who still work part-time or maybe draw from retirement accounts, but don't have high enough incomes to phase out of the deduction. So, a married couple making around $100,000? Yeah, they might see a nice benefit, but someone living on just Social Security or a modest pension, probably not much changes. Now, if you're wondering, wait, didn't Trump say he'd get rid of taxes on Social Security altogether? Well, you're not imagining it. He did, repeatedly. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. That was the rallying cry. But here's the thing, the bill doesn't actually repeal those taxes. Instead, it creates a temporary deduction that may reduce how much of your Social Security is taxed. So the promise and the policy aren't exactly matching up. This is one of those moments where the headlines don't quite match the fine print. And honestly, that's part of why I wanted to have this discussion, to help cut through the confusion and give you the facts so you can make sense of what this bill really means. And you might be wondering, why not just get rid of taxes on Social Security altogether? Wouldn't that be simpler? Sure. But here's the problem. That kind of change would cost a lot. Yes, a lot. The Penn-Wharton budget model estimates it would cut government revenue by $1.5 trillion over 10 years. That's trillion with a T. And since those taxes partially fund Social Security itself, getting rid of them entirely could speed up the trust fund running out of money. Right now, estimates say the retirement trust fund could be depleted by 2033. And with this bill, that date could move up to 2032. Not a huge jump, but it's something lawmakers are thinking about. And guess what? Even just this deduction which is smaller than a full repeal, would cost the government an estimated $250 billion over a decade if it's made permanent. That's a big chunk of money, and it adds to the national debt, which is already a concern for a lot of people. So then, why did they go with a deduction instead of just changing how Social Security is taxed? Well, because it's a workaround. Under Senate budget rules, you can't directly make changes to Social Security benefits or how the program is funded. It's called the Byrd Rule. So instead of going after the taxes directly, they created this side-door deduction that reduces taxable income for some people, hoping it would soften the impact. From the administration's perspective, they're calling this a win. The White House has said this deduction, along with other changes in the bill, will mean that most seniors won't pay taxes on their benefits at all. They estimate that 88% of seniors will owe zero in Social Security taxes under this bill. Sound good, right? Well, the numbers can be a little fuzzy. That 88% includes a lot of people who already weren't paying any taxes. So while the deduction might help some folks, it's not really changing much for a huge chunk of seniors. Now, let's go back for a second. We mentioned the deduction starts in 2025 and runs through 2028, possibly 2029, depending on which version of the bill we end up with. So it's also not permanent. Congress would have to act again to extend it. And you know how that goes. Things can change quickly in Washington. What's true today might be gone tomorrow. Another thing to consider is how uneven the benefits are. A single person earning $40,000 might see a solid tax break, but someone earning $20,000? They might see nothing at all. And again, folks on early retirement or disability aren't eligible, which has raised concerns from advocacy groups who say it leaves out too many vulnerable people. So what does this all mean for you? If you're over 65 and your income falls in that $40,000 to $100,000 range, this could put a little money back in your pocket. Not a windfall, but maybe a few $100 saved each year. And in retirement, every bit helps. But if you're living mostly on Social Security or you're not yet 65, you probably won't see any change, at least not from this part of the bill. And next, there's the bigger picture. Even if you do qualify and get a deduction, this doesn't fix the long-term issues with the Social Security system. It doesn't make your benefits bigger, it doesn't change cost of living adjustments, and it doesn't protect the trust fund from running dry. It's a patch, not a plan. You see, there's always this balance between giving relief now and keeping the system sustainable later. And that's what makes bills like this tricky. Lawmakers want to show they're helping seniors, especially during an election year, but they're also working within budget constraints and political limits. And guess what? While this deduction might seem like a small change, the politics around it are huge. It's been marketed as a bold promise kept, but in reality, it's a pretty modest change that helps some seniors but leaves many others out. That's not to say it's bad. For people who qualify, it's definitely better than nothing. But I think it's fair to say it's not quite the historic relief it's being sold as. So then, what should you do? Well, first, stay informed. Know your numbers. If you're 65 or older and filing taxes in 2025 or beyond, look into whether you qualify. If you're not sure, talk to a tax advisor or check your income and filing status against the thresholds we talked about earlier. Also, don't assume that just because it's in the news, it'll help everyone. Policies like this are often more targeted than they seem, and the fine print matters a lot. And hey, let's keep the conversation going. Drop a comment below and let me know, do you think this deduction is fair? Or do you feel like it should have gone further? I love hearing your thoughts and stories, and honestly, your experiences help shape the kind of content I bring to the channel. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss future updates. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you next time.